I always go back to, like I said, I'm not that spiritual, you know. I don't know a lot of verses, a lot of scriptures, but I do know Jeremiah 29:11, where it says, "For I know the plans I have for you." And yes, I'm going to follow his plan. Something in my spirit told me to leave Walmart, and that I did. Hey y'all, good morning and good morning. I don't know, for some reason I just needed to get on here to give a quick testimony. I have been feeling like ever since I left Walmart on Labor Day, and for those who don't know that I worked at Walmart, you can go back and look at my other videos so that this video can can help with the context of what's going on. But nevertheless, I have been feeling like, you know, that I get the short end of the stick all the time. That's pretty much how I feel. Now, I'm not depressed that I left Walmart. I'm glad I left. I mean, something was telling me that that wasn't the right place for me to be in, but I was taking it because I took the job because I needed to take the job, because I needed to generate income for me and my family. You know, when you just, desperate times comes for desperate measures. So I knew that in the pit of my stomach that that wasn't the right place for me, and I left the first time. Then I left the second time, and during the second time I stayed for at least another 3 weeks or 2 weeks so that it could trickle over for it to be a whole entire month that I've been there. But when you know something is not for you, it's not for you. So with that being said, when you know that something is for you, then it's for you. You know, you don't ever want to be in a situation, a company, a relationship, or whatever. You don't want to be in something that makes you feel inadequate, or makes you feel, that drains your energy and your happiness. And that's what Walmart was doing for those 30 plus days that I was there. I wasn't happy. I wasn't happy that not only that I had to pick a 9 to 5 to work, but that was one reason, but I just wasn't happy. And now I feel sad because I let someone, a devil who was unhappy with themselves, make me leave my job. But you guys, I think I was there for a reason. Like, I seriously believe that I was there for one specific reason, that I got hired through someone that I knew that could get me on at that job. Now, I spoke to her and I let her know how things were going, and she was sorry that it didn't work out, didn't pan out for me. But it's not her fault, you know. It's just that particular store. It's just the people that's running that store, or the people that's just working over there in that store. But anyway, you know, I thanked her again for everything that she did, because she didn't have to put me on, and she did. And all she had to do was make a phone call, and that was it. I got hired. I wish I could have stayed based on the pretense of her, but I couldn't. Now, my son had been looking for work. He had been looking for work, and he's young. You know, this is like his second job. His first job was while he was in high school. He was working at Six Flags. And so my little testimony is that my son was looking for work. And I want to tell you how good God is, because I didn't even really factor all of this until after I created my video on the reason why I quit. And then it just started, I was reflecting, and it just hit me like, you were there because your son was looking for work, and I was the voice to help him get on. I contacted the person who contacted me and told me to come up and apply. And I asked her to see if she could hire my son. So now my son is working at Walmart. So maybe that's the reason why I stayed for as long as I could, just to get my foot in the door and make the not only just the money, but to help my family get a position there. Now for him, it might be a little bit better because he's in a whole different department, and you know, he's going to be 20 years old, and so that's the type of work that a young person needs, not somebody who has already been running their business and then gotta you know, take a step down and be under someone else. Not that it bothered me, but because that person didn't know how to lead, it bothered me that way. So, you know, that's just my thinking, that maybe I was able to get on and hired with Walmart, and then able to get my younger son on. Now, you know, if anything happens just because I walked off and then they start affecting his schedule, or, you know, doing something towards him, then, you know, Mama Bear will be back up there. But, you know, he's working and he's happy to generate the little income that he wants to receive, that he's trying to get some pocket money, because he don't have big bills like Mama. He just got his little bitty bills. He don't know what big bills are. But nevertheless, that's why I was thinking that that's the reason why I was there. But y'all, when I tell you that on yesterday I got a phone call, and my testimony is, you know, not just my son getting a job with Walmart, and this is he's going into his second week, but that I got a phone call on yesterday, and the lady needed me to process her corporate taxes. She owns a daycare. And, you know, if I had been working at Walmart, it was already draining me because I was working the night shift. Well, evening shift. And I was already tired getting up in the late in the mornings, late afternoons, and then have to repeat it all over again to go to that hellhole. But the lady called me and she said, I need you to do my 2024 personal and corporate taxes. And then she said, I need you to also, once we finish this year, to go backwards and do my 2023 and 2022. So, you know, you all, I'm sad because I walked off the job on Labor Day, and now I'm thinking like, damn, I'm not gonna have no paychecks after the third, well, probably the third week of September. But the devil is a lie, because I'm going to have some income, and it's going to be more than what that silly ass Walmart paycheck was. It's going to be way more, because I have not one but 3 years I got to complete. So, you know, you guys, I am going to have income generating. And, you know, God is good, because you don't need to be praying and worrying. You're either going to pray or you're going to worry. And I'm just going to continue to pray that I'm blessed, that my family is blessed, that I'm able to generate income so that bills can be paid until my season comes in. And I always go back to, like I said, I'm not that spiritual, you know. I don't know a lot of verses, a lot of scriptures, but I do know Jeremiah 29:11, where it says, "For I know the plans I have for you." And yes, I'm going to follow his plan. Something in my spirit told me to leave Walmart, and that I did. You all follow my journey. Follow with me. Subscribe, hit the notification bell, or just watch me if that's what you choose to do. If you feel like I'm not bringing the content you need to look at on a daily basis, it's always good to just vent and talk to someone, talk to the camera, talk to you all, create the community that I'm destined to create, because I'm not a fluent YouTuber. So, you know, this is something new to me as well. I know a lot of people turn to YouTube for wisdom, for great content where you are being influential, and I'm trying to be. So with that being said, I'm grateful, I'm thankful for you guys tuning in and those that have subscribed. You know, honestly, it's been almost a year that I have been trying to do YouTube, trying to find my niche on this platform, and I haven't found it yet. I thought that I had found it. I thought that maybe bringing news, reviews, and sharing my testimonies or sharing some breakthroughs with you, I thought that maybe that was it. But I feel like something else. I feel like I need to bring something else. I don't know what it is. But I'm just going to continue to keep searching and continue to keep pushing and continue to bring the content that I feel is needed for this channel and for this space. You know, I hope that you all continue to follow. So I hope you guys, if you are new here, I hope that you, I wish that you would go ahead and subscribe to the channel, because we're all trying to, at the end of the day, we're all trying to create a community, and we're all trying to potentially get monetized. At the end of the day, that is my end goal. You know, I do want to create friends and a small channel where I have, you know, people gathering and looking at my content on a daily basis. But, you know, all of this is just not for me to just create content. I want to make this a business as well, truthfully speaking. You know, you just got to be honest with yourself. I don't want to lie to anyone, because once you start lying to them, you're lying to yourself. But I just wanted to share my testimony with you guys to let you know that how one door closed for me on Labor Day because I walked out and closed it, and how other things are opening up for me. And that's just all I wanted to share for today. And I had to sit back and get out of that funk mode, and to realize that some things are good and positive in my life as well, even though you know, things have been transpiring to where I have been not feeling my best and kind of upset with what's been going on. But you know, everything happens for a reason, and I just have to continue to push through so that I can get to the other side. So I appreciate you guys listening, and I will see you in another video.